Well, terrible.
Uh,
Do you finally manage to get your air conditioner back?
yeah, we did.
Ooh. So what's the
You're
deal
right.
with it? Is it
Stream's
just
working.
super hot there?
Okay, so no. So the filters I did not know needed to be cleaned. No one had informed me this. So what ended up happening is they were covered in dust and the air conditioner froze up, essentially.
Hmm.
So when that happens, you have to let it defrost, or you have to recharge it with coolant. Well, I called the manufacturer and they're like, well, like if it doesn't defrost, you're SOL because we can't put coolant in this one anymore. So then I ran out and made the MacGyver air conditioner, which is still running, just because
Oh no!
it's just a nice conversation piece, really.
Well, that's true.
And got the other one working again, and then there'd been some back and forth about budget for my department. We originally got some money and we spent it on computers, but the department that the budget came out of complained that none of their people got computers that their budget paid for.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
but so it was explained to me that it was for general IT, and that was the intent, but nobody told the project lead. So anyway, get all that going, blah blah blah, and we end up with the finance guy comes to me. He's like, okay, yeah, just like come up with a list of stuff that you need. And he didn't tell me how much to come up with, so I was like, okay, well, I'll just think of like as much as I can think of in a
Yeah.
perfect world, and I'll submit that, and then he'll tell me what I can and can't have. So I come up with like a whole big long purchase order for all sorts of IT equipment, and like I got a Nitrous IO subscription, stuff that's gonna make my life easier. Mechanical keyboards, new headsets, the whole nine for everybody.
What is Nitrous IO?
Oh, it's the best. It's an IDE that's hooked up to web hosting that doesn't turn off. So if you wanted like put up a demo website, you can just do that.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
great for rapid prototyping and hosting like really micro applications that you only have to use once in a while.
That is handy.
It's
I thought
amazing.
I thought it might be like a nitrous tank with the tweets whenever you huff.
That would be something, wouldn't it? But yeah, so had that going and get him the like it's like 3-page purchase order, and he's in a meeting and I do my meeting and then I get out of my meeting and I'm going back to my office. He says, "Hey, I'm gonna approve these, but you got to think bigger." I'm like, so how much bigger? Looks at me, double it. Okay. Have you ever tried to
IT
spend
robot.
Have you ever tried to spend $10,000 in one sitting? It's really
can be
hard.
tricky.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. So I'm getting even more stuff, and like I'm getting a 3D printer because for fabrication of replacement casings
That's a
and
good idea.
other plastic parts. See?
Also, it expands your job.
Yeah.
What about like phones? Does your office have IP phones?
No, but we have a contract with some local phone
Oh.
thing that we can't do anything about it.
Fair enough.
Although I am going to start trying to roll out Google Voice numbers to everybody.
Oh, good. That's good. Plus, it means once you ditch these guys, you'll have a backup.
Ah.
They'll switch over easy.
Oh, I'm planning on staying for a while.
Oh, all right, nice.
Oh, I've been muted. I've been chiming in. I'm like,
Oh.
well, damn, Dave,
Oh, we thought you were just
Dave-
being polite.
Yeah.
Dave is really into this phone. I mean, I just better, I don't know, let him do his thing. Sorry.
No.
Hey there, Adam.
Welcome aboard, guys.
I said hey when you came in, but you didn't say
I-
anything.
I did respond, but it didn't help. I'm sorry.
Excellent.
Hey, Dave, put your IT brain together for me on something here. I'm working with a group of kids, and here's
Uh-oh.
all right. I'm playing with Raspberry Pi. That's like what we're gonna
okay.
use.
Yeah.
So I'm ordering the boxes. This is for like I don't know if you ever heard of STLP. It's like Student Technology Leadership Project. So it's like after school, technology's got to serve some kind of function to better the school, community, or whatever. Okay, so the first thing we're doing is we're going to start out, and I have a few Arduino boxes around, so we may use Arduino instead of the Raspberry Pi, but start out by making us. It has an educational purpose, but hear me out. We're going to try to make a pet door that works on like an RFID. So
Okay.
I
say
see.
so it will raise up whenever the pet approaches it, and if you got the ID in the collar, you know what I mean. So that's going to be our demo, and if we can get that to work, we're going to try to work up something for um, like a classroom, like a school classroom. So we're going to try to rig it up to a door, and like the hall pass has a RFID. So when you walk back to the hall, it locks the door when you walk back to the room, and it locks it back when you walk in the room and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's a really paranoid environment
Dude,
with
I will.
school
I will
shooters.
absolutely buy one of those if you guys figure out a way to make them.
I got some pretty sharp cookies on it, and we're going
That would be
to
awesome.
try that. The second project we're working on with it, and this one's more of a general purpose kind of deal, but the school IDs have a barcode on them. And what we're going to try to do is build a database with the barcode, which the barcode is just your student ID number. And whenever people are coming in on like buses and stuff like that, instead of like going into an office and filling out the form, and there's like 20 or 30 kids at a time, just have it set up to where they walk up with their ID, and you just take a barcode scanner and just click, hit that student ID, and I mean the barcode, and it just logs the ID, and it gives you a printout. And I may even be able to buy a thermal printer just to get names and stuff like that. But I'm just trying to figure out, these are two projects that the kids have dreamed up, which I like the dog door one better than the barcode scanner, but
That barcode, that sounds like one that should already be a thing. Like
Yeah.
that. Like you
It
should
just-
get in school paper for that or something.
yeah, should be. And you know what? Like I'm the guy who makes the IDs, and I mean, I know I can pretty much pull the database from the ID machine and
Nice.
pretty much do like that. I'm just trying to. I may not even need the Raspberry Pi, but that's kind of the novelty we're angling right now.
I mean, I think
So-
that the database one would probably
Yeah.
have more real world applications.
Yeah.
And it's going to be doing a lot more with what you'd be doing with coding in real
Yeah.
life. The door one would be good if your kids are more into like robotics and things like
Yeah.
that, like Internet of Things.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Jeff's here. What's up,
Hey,
Jeff?
Jeff.
Hey. What up?
He's muted like I was too, probably.
I gotta find my character.
So our Delta Green game just got more interesting as the world got to be a darker place with WikiLeaks and the problems that are occurring right now.
That's true. Oh yeah. Did you, Dave? Did you send Jeff the voicemail?
Oh no! I was gonna do that. It's gonna happen during play.
Oh, okay, cool.
Is the idea. And we'll have some advanced sound mixing from the.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. That was the thing.
I need to figure out how to do that for I'm playing in a Delta Green Vivised game, and that's a Detweiler scenario that he put up on his Patreon. But Aaron, our prodigal son, who is yet to return, but we were playing last Friday, and if you notice yet, guys, that Aaron has the approach of like, yeah, fuck it, I'll stick my head in there. I mean,
Yep.
Aaron Karsten?
no, Aaron Morris, Aaron from here.
Oh.
Every RPP, every podcast has an Aaron. Like I've noticed that. Like Dave's got that Aaron, and I'm sharing that Aaron. We got joint custody, and then technical difficulties has an Aaron. But Aaron's character got dissolved by a Shoggoth like kind of thing.
Ooh.
So when we started off the next game, I found some Irish bagpipes playing, not Irish, but bagpipes playing Amazing Grace. And just right when we mentioned Aaron's character, I'm just wanting to hit play and then, make it sound like a New York cop funeral or something like that for a couple. I have a weird sense of humor.
Alrighty. Let's see. Is this the right one? Yes. Alright, Jeff, you there? I'm worried about you, buddy.
I've jinxed him.
Oh, and Alabama beat A&M.
So
Tide.
audio seems to be cutting in now.
Oh, is mine?
Oh, everything's just going completely silent. Like, Kyle, are you still there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, has it been going like deathly silent for you too?
Well,
Yeah,
just
I
when
think
people
so.
aren't talking, I
Yeah.
think.
I've been muting my mic in between so you don't get that.
That may be
Nice.
it. Let's see. Jeff, we cannot hear you. I see your text.
Well.
Did you have?
I see. He's saying stuff in chat.
Yeah.
I get it.
Did you have a good time, Kyle, with the Red Marcus game? I don't remember if I've asked you that.
Not really, but it was okay.
Yeah.
They said to use pre-gens, and I did, and they were like, well, I hope everyone made characters. And I'm like, well, fuck. They told the Patreon to make their own characters, and they told us to use pre-gens.
Yeah.
And so I ended up with Doc McStuffins, who's not very relevant.
No. I used the pre-gen one, but Caleb told me to. But
yeah,
right hand, left hand didn't know.
It was a good game, and like just because I didn't have a good time, it was still not bad.
It's a brutal system, isn't it?
Yeah, but my character was mostly just hanging back and not doing a whole lot. Just because I was not a combat monster, I was the medical guy. No one got hurt.
Hello?
Hey, there you are.
You're back.
Cool. Sorry, I don't know what happened.
Oh,
So good. I'm gonna put a feeler out to the prodigal son if you guys want me to. I doubt I don't even know where the hell he is. Let's see. Facebook.
How was everyone's last several weeks?
kind of boring.
Pretty good.
Weird.
Yeah,
Well, it looks like you had a little excitement at the office, Dave.
yeah. You saw that
Yeah.
picture?
Yeah.
That was, I think that was one of my finest moments of engineering. I'm really proud of that one. See, I pride myself on being able to, if they ever need to call me in when the air filter in the space station stops working, I can help. I don't know about the math, but I can help you put the one thing into the other thing.
Yeah, screw the math.
But yeah, it was just... IT is weird. IT is just a weird place.
Antifreeze, is that still glycol?
Mm-hmm.
Is it propylene or ethylene?
They're actually both. You can get one or the other. I think like
Okay.
pink is poly, and the other one, and green is the other one, but is ethyl.
Okay.
But yeah, like I didn't check. I just got.
No,
one cheapest one.
glycol is used quite often in brewing too for chilling down fermenters and things like that.
It works.
Oh yeah, it does. Works great.
I got a still. I made some moonshine.
Nice.
Sweet.
Careful with that.
Just watch the temperature on it.
Yeah. I don't actually drink it. I mean, I haven't had any yet.
Yeah, have
I'm more like
one. See how you're doing.
Yeah. I'm more just like making it because I like making stuff.
You could pretty much. I always heard that because I mean, I've heard from official people. Like my neighbor makes it. My grandfather's supposed to show me how to make it, but like you usually want to pour off the first little bit anyway.
Yeah, it's called the
Yeah.
heads.
That's where the methanol may be. Hold on a second. I gotta be back in a second.
All right.
I had a buddy who made something called Grapico beer.
What? All right.
He like had a thing. It was like a recipe. I don't know. It involved yeast, and he would like add yeast to Grapico. And like
Grapico.
it's a grape soda you can only buy in the South. And I don't know how he did it because
wow.
I don't think it should work the way that he explained it. He like would add the yeast and then let the whole thing ferment, and then it was like this like white lightning made out of Grapico soda. It was like pure cane sugar alcohol. It was terrifying. Just absolutely terrifying.
What's this?
Grapico beer, quote unquote. You take a Grapico soda and you ferment it, and then you drink it, and it was scary.
I've made hard Mountain Dew before.
That would
Nice.
probably be pretty okay.
Came out
Well-
very dry.
Well, what did it taste like?
It still had some of the dew flavor, but it's surprised it wasn't very hot alcohol wise, but it was just very dry because there's nothing else to really than sugar, so it ferments. There's no body left over, so it comes out just a
Oh,
very dry alcohol.
but like, what about the texture?
Not really anything.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, it's a little. I mean, it's not the same as mixing it with vodka because you still have the sweetness from the soda.
I
But
see.
it's just very dry.
Mountain Dew was a favorite soda because of the texture.
Yeah, the texture may change a bit because I had added baking soda and chalk to it to try to
What?
neutralize the acidity
Oh,
because
interesting.
it has such a low pH. It's like 3.1.
That's hardcore.
So I wanted to try to raise the pH a bit and then add the yeast to it, and I only did a
Oh, I
gallon
see.
size batch.
Oh, so
That's- I
default
thought-
Mountain Dew is 3.1.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I thought that was after fermentation. I was like,
No,
wow,
no, no.
that
That's before.
Nope. All right. Okay.
That's why it's not necessarily the greatest to drink all day.
Ow. Acid's good for you.
And then I figured out what the specific gravity probably was based on what they say there was gram sugar per
Oh,
volume.
good thinking.
So
Science.
Science
There's-
rules.
There's a bunch of old crazy hillbillies around here that's got moonshine down to it like a fucking art. Like, I mean, it's like dangerously good shit. Like,
I have a local friend who has a nice stainless steel setup. He actually has it hooked up to a Sankey keg attachment. So he actually uses a 15 and a half gallon stainless steel keg as his vessel that he just then hooks using the Sankey attachment to hook the column to.
That's a bunch. Like that's a lot to be boiling at once.
But he will do boil batches of beer through it. So you have like a 5-gallon batch of beer and toss it in there.
What do you call a distilled beer? What is that?
Whiskey, yeah. And that's basically what it is.
All right.
Made from the same grains, more or less.
All right.
You can distill wine, and that's usually brandy. Yeah,
brandy's so
Mm.
I don't think anyone's done like it's a distilled mead, far as I know, but I wouldn't be surprised either.
Honey liquor.
That reminds me, I'm going to switch browsers right now. I'll be right back.
Alrighty.
I have 5 gallons of mead going at the moment.
I never tried mead. One of my regrets. I think I would have liked it.
My poison of choice with liquor is usually vodka, but I'm a pretty big bourbon fan. But you about have to be from where I'm at.
Yeah.
Have you ever had Relska?
No, I can't say that I have.
Okay, don't ever drink it. It was so bad that it got me to stop drinking.
Wow, that's pretty bad.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of like Knob Creek and a couple other bourbons like that. One of these days I'm gonna break out $100 just to say I drank some Pappy Van Winkle, but
Pappy's pretty good.
I've yet to belly up to that price.
Yeah, as far as bourbons go, I like Woodford and Wild Turkey, probably the best.
Woodford's pretty good. So Jeff, how was the op? We saw the Delta Green picture there.
Yes.
Anything you can talk about?
We went down to Savannah, and then we actually had to leave there a day early due to Hurricane Matthew coming in.
Okay.
But that was actually in Florence, Kentucky. We left here the Friday, and then drove to Florence that night. Stayed there. We were surprised to learn that all the hotels from Florence down to Lexington along I-75 were booked.
Yeah.
Because everyone's coming in to go to the Ark Encounter theme park.
That sounds right.
What's that?
That sounds about right.
Yes, it does. It's just we were caught totally by surprise by that.
If you'd driven as far down to Lexington, you would have been 50 miles from where I live.
No, we found a place in Florence, but it took us 2 hotels, and one of the gals said that they're probably all booked down to Lexington because she had called a few herself to try to find places. So it just kind of blew our minds that it was that busy, I guess.
Oh, good Lord, man! Like I've seen pictures of the thing, and I don't mean to knock anybody's faith or anything hardcore, but there's like fucking dinosaurs on it on the Ark. That's what I thought.
Because I know who Ken Ham is, and I've seen some of his books, and he also usually depicts the theropods, the T-Rex and whatnot, as being herbivores, because being a carnivore is not within God's design or something like that.
Oh, good God! So I guess all these meat eaters we got right now is the devil.
Yeah.
Man, like that's the very definition of faith, is like believing in something regardless of, the evidence and all that. So why can't you accept, there were dinosaurs and then there weren't? Like, I don't get it, man.
Yeah, I actually try to read a bit on various religions, so but I do think there's a difference between being, I guess, a practicer of religion and then being that, I guess, what they consider to be faithful, but it's really not. I mean, it's you still have to be able to think, I guess, is what.
Yeah. Well, I would assume that, you can only test the strength of the steel or the metal if you actually try to use it. I mean, I think that if you can look at the world, and then you come back and like, no, this is what I believe in, then that would make you a better practitioner.
Yeah.
But, well, did Kyle ever make it back? I don't have the window open. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, Kyle joined. I saw.
Yep, I've been muted this whole time.
Full circle.
Yeah, so I was in Firefox and I wanted to get back to Chrome, but just trying to get back into this game is just so hard. Like just Google Plus makes it so hard to actually rejoin their their streams.
And so we were in Savannah for a few days, and then took some of the tours down there. Went to Fort Pulaski, which is pretty cool. That was a fort built between the Revolutionary and Civil War, and pretty much got destroyed in the Civil War because that was when the introduction of rifle cannons came into, and this place is only built out of bricks, and so the rifle cannons could shoot from much further range and accuracy than what the fort was built for. So they totally destroyed like one corner of the fort, and that's when the Confederate general there surrendered, because then several rounds that were still coming in got awfully close to the powder and munitions storage, and he figured if that got hit, that's over anyways.
Yeah, that's awesome. Glad you enjoyed it. Let's see. I just broke out my character sheet. Ooh, Van McCoy. So
That's
you guys.
We got tied up in traffic though when we were leaving Savannah, because that morning is actually when they announced the mandatory evacuation.
Oh wow!
But we were already on the road, but we still got caught up because they Highway 16 out of Savannah going west. They reversed eastbound, so everything's heading west, and then at some point they have to correct that. So we got caught up in that bottleneck area there.
Oh God!
And then that delayed us enough to hit Atlanta during its rush hour, which is just hell. I can't imagine putting up with that every day.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Like an hour, 20 minutes to go 30 miles up 75. 5 lanes of traffic, all at a dead stop almost.
And God help you if somebody wants to move lanes.
Yeah. One of my friends was taking a trailer down there to one of our other friends and blew a tire on the trailer to the point rubber's flying around, and he says, everyone got out of the way for me. He knew where I was going. Trying to get from the left to the right.
Wow. Yeah, I hate driving through Atlanta in general.
It wasn't too bad at 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, but
yeah,
you hit it at the rush hour. I couldn't put up with it every day. So is everyone ready?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
I'll break out my Call of Cthulhu book. I get tired of go ahead. I just get tired of looking at math and thinking, they've got that little cheat sheet in there where I don't have to do math. I like that.
Cool.
So, Dave, you ready to start recording?
Yep, I'm ready. We are going. We are live. That's the pre-show. Jeff, you can do an intro, and then I'll set it up so you can click a link, and it'll show you the after the pre-show. People can skip directly to the content they crave.
Are we live then?
Yeah, go for it. Give us an intro.
Sorry. Okay. Welcome everyone back to A Time to Harvest. We have Kyle, Dave, and Adam here with us. It's been a little while since we played, just due to myself being away for a little bit and the schedule. But I'd like to welcome everyone back. If could someone actually do a brief recap since it has been a little while? I know a little bit of what's myself what's going on, but not sure if just to refresh everyone.
I remember things, but if someone else remembers things better, they should go.
Well, I remember. No, was it last time that I went into hiding and then came out of hiding and joined a fraternity?
Yes.
Okay.
And then you return to Miskatonic University.
Under the assumed name of, I've got it written down, Audric
Excellent.
Ogre Van Dam, to become a mysterious, shadowy figure in the Alpha Kappa Alpha fraternity. Was that it, right? What were we?
I think that sounds correct.
Yeah. Some fraternity. We were in a fraternity.
The fraternity.
The fraternity. And now I have recruited Kyle and Adam into my anti-conspiracy, because apparently the people that we know died, well, that I know died on the trip, they've shown up at the campus, and so it's like invasion of the body snatchers. But I will let Kyle and Adam fill in all of that, because I don't remember all of it that well.
Oh yeah, we got we reported we're frat members with was a mild character or was it someone else? Someone else. Yeah, I think it was mild character.
Yeah,
who
because it was
was?
fencers.
Yes, Fent. That's right. That's right. And he suddenly lost interest in everything he was up to and stopped showing up to the fraternity. So we tried to have a waffle party in his dorm, and that didn't turn out. And he ended up calling campus security on us. But we ended up telling the frat head of the frat. What do you call that? The dance commander on him. And so the dance commander would do nothing. So we ended up going in for like a special operation in the library with my old character and his cohort of returned students who were all body snatched. And as I recall, like Dave's character or Adam's character got like an angry look from one of them that was Sandy disturbing.
Kimball, I believe, got.
Yes.
Well, he was staring at you, and you said you stared back, and his stare like doubled in intensity and freaked you out.
We had a mind battle, he and I.
It was a Care Bear stare type situation. So yes, and I don't think did we conclude that operation, or are we still in the library? Because I seem to recall we were.
And then that's why I'm not certain if you guys actually concluded there. I know at least Dave had gone around, and I think you found all the other students that were there and was kind of.
And I wrote down
taking note of as to which sections of the library they're at, and
that's right. We're currently stealing. We're cheating off the test materials right now for whatever it is they're studying.
And I think you even took note of one of the guys was reading from a stack of newspapers, and you were trying to.
No, we checked out everything. We'd checked out everything, and we went back to your room to look at it. We couldn't, because I remember Jeff saying we couldn't check out the periodicals.
That's right, and we're about to get an info dump.
Mm-hmm. And where were you, Adam? You were charming someone, I think.
Yeah, he's definitely.
Yes, I was. I think I went to.
Went to a mission to think, or
that or the registrar or something like that, and I was trying to get a copy of a signature.
Yeah, you were trying to match signatures, and the signature you had matched the previous one, I believe.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty much where I left off. And of course, we did also have that encounter with Kyle mentioned it too, with the with his former character, and I think it's really all that we did. So you guys were the ones doing Spec Ops while I was flirting.
Well, we can just rendezvous at my secret lair in the attic and
the attic
look at the loot. Yes.
Sounds good to me.
Let's do it.
So, ready to pick back up? Or
yeah, we got all these books. And Jeff, the categories I had were history, occult, pharmacy, and engineering and metallurgy.
Let me go back. So you said, I know you said occult.
History, pharmacy, and engineering.
Yes, that sounds correct. I think you were trying to get the exact books they were looking at.
Mm-hmm.
The history books are, that Jason was looking at. They deal specifically with colonial American history, specifically the Revolutionary War period. So there's a lot of fair amount of. I mean, they each book kind of has some specific details of maybe the wars down in the South against the British, to some of the naval battles up north, and so there's each book kind of deals with a little different portion of the Revolutionary War, and then a few others were the colonial American history. Some of them were specific to the Pacific colonies themselves, like maybe a colonial history of Massachusetts. Let's see. I don't know if you got the Pacific newspapers that Roderick was looking at.
I think we did.
Can you give me a spot hidden maybe on that real quick? Because I know you had to try to mark like how far down the stack when he placed things back. But
so I've got that at 45, and I will roll.
I did not get that. I rolled a 7.
I did get that. 28.
Okay. Is dice stream working?
I need to open it up. But of course, I didn't even say I was doing that. So you got it, you said, Kyle?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just hang back on that then.
So the newspapers that Roderick were looking back, go back about a decade or so, maybe not quite a decade, and you've come across. You think you found if you remember, at one point he got pretty upset when he was flipping through the newspapers, and you think you have that exact newspaper, or you're fairly certain you do, and one of the things you come across is a headline. I just dropped it in the folder for you guys to look at if you like.
Okay, sure. Let's. We should read it aloud for the audience. Let me fire up the Tom House.
See, where is this from here?
So the link I dropped in in chat too for the folder.
Family found dead in Vermont, June 12th, 1921. Yesterday, the bodies of Lou Ann Clark and her two sons, Simon and Samuel, aged 9 and 7 respectively, were found at a campsite at the base of the Green Mountains. Police speculate the family had been murdered over a week ago by an unknown assailant. According to locals, the Clark family arrived in the small town of Cobb's Corners on June 4th, prior to going on a fishing, camping, and hiking vacation in the forest surrounding the town. As for Keith Clark, the husband and father of the slain family, no trace of him has been found at the scene of this terrible crime. Police continue to search the woods for evidence and have made a call for Mr. Clark to come forward to assist with their inquiries.
Oh dear.
Apparently that makes body snatchers unhappy, so I don't know what the deal there is. I am mystified.
So where is that in the draft? I only see the 3 pictures. Or is that Cobb's Manor? No.
It's the PH 26310.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing that in the drive. That's fine. Don't worry about it. So they were upset by the deaths of someone?
Roderick was. When he was flipping through the newspapers, he seemed to get quite upset upon when he was reading through this newspaper, at least. And
I would be curious to see, and I don't know how I would go about checking this, but I would be curious to see if that person does not have some tie, the death does not have some ties to a person of importance in a colonial time period, so like a descendant of somebody that they're researching.
Oh yeah.
Just wondering if it's some kind of genealogical thing. So I might be able to. I don't know. I could say my character's Mormon, and I could contact my brethren.
Nice.
But yeah, that's something definitely I want to check out. And what's that date in relation to the date we're playing here? How recent is that?
It's 9 years ago, about 9 years, a few extra months.
Okay.
So it's not terribly. I mean, it's not terribly long ago. It's not a century ago.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see if Mr. Clark was ever found.
That's a good question.
Because he would be the one that was upset, like, let's say he saw his wife and kids die, and he knew who did it, but they framed him perfectly for it. And so now he's, like, become a wizard for revenge or something.
But they didn't really frame him. They think it was an unknown assailant. So it's weird. And he did go missing, but it's not exactly a frame.
Yeah. But I could have just been scared that he was going to get blamed for it, is what I was thinking.
Could be too.
So I think we need to figure out if he's still in the picture or not.
I think it would be interesting to find out how they died. I guess they can't have died to alien trumpets or to unknown. I don't officially know what these creatures are that assaulted us several games ago, but if I did, I mean, I don't imagine it would have left marks that people would have. I mean, I think it would say if they died under mysterious circumstances to alien trumpets.
Yeah, I guess we could find another newspaper and see if we can find something that would elaborate a bit more.
Our characters haven't yet pissed off the sheriff.
I'm here though. I got this.
All right. That's true.
I warned them of the sheriff.
Oh no.
And also continue growing my beard.
Excellent.
You can always go back and check other newspapers from the same.
Yeah. Okay. So I say if we did a survey to figure out if everybody else is ditching class, they're probably going to be. Remind me, Jeff, did the original people that I can't remember the guy's name, but the one who we kind of had suspicions of setting us all up. Like, did he return to college as well? Didn't he?
Blaine.
He did.
Okay.
However, since upon returning, no one has really seen him. Like he hasn't gone to class. He hasn't been seen on campus. I mean, he did return with everyone else, and got the same chewing out, by that you guys did.
Yeah.
But since then, like he hasn't really been seen.
We could probably maybe one avenue I can go look for, or one of us can, just seeing if we can locate him, and not being meta on this. Like something has actually happened to these people on this trip, and this is like he was one of the main ones in charge of it on the student side. So
sure,
he would probably be the best one to answer the questions.
Yes.
Okay. Kimbo, any suggestions?
Well, did we find out it was in the engineering book?
Good question.
Let me see. Actually, I don't think so. It deals a lot with some mining equipment, like mining methods, even like geological core sampling, but nothing. It doesn't deal specific with any real, I guess, too specific, but it does deal a lot more with like geo sampling, analysis, and mining.
All right. So we just need to figure out how to connect the dots of Cobb's Corners, a mine, vampires, a serial killer, and a maniac that hasn't been seen in months. Got it.
And the Revolutionary War. Don't forget that part.
Oh, yes, and the Revolutionary War. I have very little idea where to start.
I think we need to overthrow Cobb's Corners and then sift through the wreckage to find out the answer.
Well, unfortunately, my skill set doesn't really do much for, let's see, library use. Let me see. Excuse me, I'm yawning. I got like 40%.
Well, you've got fencing, don't you?
Yeah, I do have fencing. That's what matters.
We'll go all three musketeers on them. Dave will
My
be mowing them
lawnmower.
down. Literally, mowing them down.
And if you recall, Lewis was looking into medicine books, which you may recall is a bit unusual, I guess, because while he had studied medicine in his when he first had started at university, he has switched over to botany.
Huh. What kind of medicine?
Make a medicine roll.
We're playing the same guy, so like I'm just gonna hang back here.
Yeah, I got 1% in medicine, so I don't make it. I don't even have to roll. I know I don't make it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
It's actually it's your assessment is that it's just extremely advanced. It's beyond you, and it's surprising that even he would be reading it, considering he's only had like 1 year of medical school.
Well, let me ask something maybe more broad, maybe more general, and maybe more helpful. What part of the body?
It actually has it's specific with anatomy, a lot of neurological, including the brain, central nervous system, but also the digestive tract. I mean, it's some pretty advanced research into them.
All right, can I go to a medicine professor and ask him what all this is about?
You could potentially try, yeah.
All right. I'm gonna do that.
I think they may have. I mean, I think all that all may have to wait till the next day, because I don't recall.
Okay.
I think it was a little later. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, you could definitely do it tomorrow.
All right.
Bros, I think we probably ought to just go ahead and retire for the night then. It seems like it's been productive. We just need to, if you want to go check with the medical person, that would be great. I can see if I can find some trace of Blaine. I think that was his name. I'm gonna start writing this shit down.
Robert Blaine.
Robert Blaine.
And
So
what was the result of the handwriting thing?
They were the same signature. So
they were. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, worth a shot.
Yeah. Well, we know that like he's not had a complete, in my mind anyway, since I don't really buy everything else. It's not like a complete psychotic break, I guess.
They didn't literally scoop his brain.
Yeah.
All right.
So I can look for Robert Blaine and Okimbo. You're kind of a hot commodity around this place. Where do you think you want
to? I think whichever one of you thinks you might need help the most. I think probably you, because we're going to be searching for Blaine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
That sounds fine. We'll split the party up 2 ways here.
Also, we need someone to do research on that guy who may have killed his family or may not.
I can do that. I can do that. Yeah, and I can go keep an eye on people at the library at the same time.
Nice.
Okay.
So sounds like the plan is Kimball's going back to the library.
Mm-hmm.
And then the two of you, actually, Kyle, you're going to talk to medicine professor, doctor of medicine.
Yeah.
And then Adam, you're going to attempt to search for Blaine.
Yeah.
Okay. Who would like to go first, I guess?
Okay, so it's a brand new day. I'll just go ahead and start off here. So let me open up DiveStream and see how horribly she treats me. All right. So looking for him, I think that if he wasn't being seen at class and stuff like that, I would probably try to, in the beginning at least, look around the dorms, so forth. So my search, or is that spot hidden? I'm getting my games confused. Spot hidden, or
so you're just going to wander like through some of the dorms looking for him?
actually, I want to find a dorm that he's that he stays in, and then I'm gonna.
Nice.
So I'm gonna ask, go back to student housing. Yeah, walking. Excuse me, ma'am. I hate to trouble you here. I have loaned one of my fellow buddies, or I've loaned him a textbook, and I had him in class, but I didn't exactly, stay in a dorm with him, stuff like that. Would you care to just tell me where I could locate this guy? I mean, I'm sure there's a student directory though. If you could point me to a directory or look it up yourself, that would be real sweet of you.
I can get you roll a persuade and add a bonus dice.
Alrighty. What's the bonus dice again? I always forget.
It just you roll two 10s and then a single 1, and you just take the lower result.
2 10s and a 1. All right. Okay, I got 15. So I got it.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, she's quite happy to give you his address, which actually is a funny address. It actually is off campus. Is on West Pickman Street. It looks like it's some sort of a apartment apartment building of some sort.
Okay. Sounds good. So I guess I will be making my way there while everybody else does their stuff.
Okay.
Right.
Cool. Well, I guess I'll go over to the library again and start looking for links between Keith Clark, Cobb's Corners, and the Revolutionary War.
Okay. If if you're ever going to go through those some of those newspapers again, you do find a few other articles discussing the Clark family. Okay. The one article mentions that it appears they were attacked or murdered with an axe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Mr. Clark, even ones that were dated some days, even weeks later, mentioned, that Mr. Clark, Keith Clark, is the prime suspect. However, whereabouts remains unknown.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, that's good to know.
And I think you said one of the connections you're looking for perhaps was whether or not Clark family might have been had some connection with the colonial America.
Mm-hmm.
That probably had to require a library check to cross-reference, any birth records and records from the colonial time and so forth.
And I also have a 60 in history. I have a 50 library use and a 60 history.
Okay.
$15.
Okay. You do find several records for a few different Clark families that were within Vermont. there's some records to show that some of the family members, some of the younger sons from each of them did participate in the war. Were soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
But whether or not any of them were directly related to Keith Clark, you're not certain. It's not a very uncommon name, but it's not it's not unique enough that to be sure who is may have been his ancestors in the region. But it sounds like maybe there's a good chance he had, given the number of families and so forth, that probably there were some family members fighting in the war.
Okay. Is there anything in particular that stands out about any of those families? It's different from the others?
No, not really.
Okay.
Most of them are along the southern Vermont, and then across the state line a little bit too.
Okay. Maybe it's... What about, like, known associates of Ken Clark mentioned in the articles?
No, not really. When he talks about the family themselves, a couple cases, the sheriff's name might be dropped or mentioned in there. Actually, I can't remember his name. Sheriff Spencer is mentioned in the newspaper, along with discussing the family's disappearance or murder.
Okay.
He would have been sheriff at the time as well, Cobb's Corner.
Okay. Here's an idea. I'm going to take all of the books that we checked out, and I'm going to stack them on a table, and then I'm going to, like, hide nearby.
Bait.
Yeah. Clutching my violin case.
Okay. You sit and you watch, and maybe a half hour, 45 minutes go by, and you see a librarian walk over and has a cart, and she's picking up books that people just like what you just did, just left them out, and she eventually gathers them all, including the ones you left out, and goes to sort them and put it back on the shelves where they belong.
Oh, American efficiency. I guess I'll go outside and, like, recline against a tree and watch for the body snatched to come out and lead me to their leader.
Okay.
I'll pass it to Kyle.
All right.
Then Kyle, I believe.
Yes. I am talking to a medical professor to find out what the deal with all this book is.
Okay.
That's how I say it. What's the deal with all this book?
He inquires as to what your interest is, as he doesn't recall seeing you in the medical building before. He's a little interested as to why I actually don't forget. I forget what your character major was. Metallurgy.
Yes.
As to why a physics and science, hard science person as yourself would be interested in medical science.
Oh yeah, that's actually I saw my friends reading this book, and I am not biologically minded, so I did not really understand what they were talking about or reading, but I'm trying to be friends with them without being a pain, so I'm trying to keep up. And science in here is like, I mean, I'm not biologically minded, but this is beyond, the regular sawbones type medicine that I'm used to.
Sure. He goes on to explain that it's really it's one of the most recently published books on the recent advancements in neurology. So it's really cutting edge research on human and neural pathways, understanding how the brain works, how the nervous system works with it. But other than that, he says it's not really I mean, it's fascinating, but at the same time, it's not really, I guess, super important. I guess I'm not sure how to say that.
It's not related.
It's a very advanced medical reference book. Is what it really is.
I see, but it's not related to a particular disease.
No.
What part of the brain? Like, if I were to, the parts of the brain and nervous system involved here, what would you say that they do for a person?
Well, I mean, the book actually explains the entire brain structure, so it's not.
Oh, the entire brain.
Yeah, it's not detailed down to only the cerebellum or whatever. It's the entire structure.
Oh, so this is just the hottest news about the brain itself.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Thank you. Is there anything, guys? Is there anything else I should be asking here? Because I feel like I got it.
No, I think you're good.
All right,
Hey, we don't have enough to go on. I mean,
yeah.
Okay. So am I like? So I'm gonna go. If there's no one else going on here, me searching the neighborhood. I'm gonna when I find his house, I'm just gonna kind of hang back and watch it for a couple minutes before I actually approach.
Okay.
Just to see if there's anybody going in and out. Do I see like a pile of newspapers on the front step where he's never picked them up? Milk bottles. What? I mean, just trying to see if it's been lived in.
The building looks like a row house where there's multiple floors. So he's presumably one of the tenants in here. There's several tenants.
Okay.
There is a mailbox up front, and well, you haven't actually approached it, but there's the mailbox outside, one for each room. There's also a buzzer system, and I looked at the front door. It's closed. You don't know if it's locked or not, but as you watch it for a few minutes, you won't see anyone come in or out.
Okay, I'll go ahead and make my way up and see if I can try the door, and also look at the mailboxes to see what's his room number.
It's room 6.
Okay, so maybe a second or third floor apartment. Then we'll check.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll try the door.
It opens.
Okay. And I will actually walk over and look in his mailbox and see if it's been checked.
Yeah, it's empty.
Okay, so somebody's getting the mail, if he's getting any. And I'm going to go ahead and make my way up to his apartment.
Okay.
And
as you go down the hall towards the stairwell, you pass the first room you pass on, the door's open, and you can hear a radio playing loud enough that you can hear it pretty well, outside. It's not blaring, but it's loud enough that you can hear it, and it sounds like a baseball, game going on.
Okay.
And you can kind of hear someone moving around, walking around inside of the room as well.
Okay, but this isn't his room. This is just one of the other rooms, right?
Yeah. And actually, as you walk by, you can see on the door itself, there's a plate that says, landlord, and it has S. Flanagan.
Okay. I'm going to kind of knock on the door and stop with the landlord here. Just try to get his attention. So just stand at the door frame and kind of, thump, thump, thump.
Okay. It takes about, maybe a minute, and eventually a very elderly gentleman using a cane to get around comes up to the door. Yes. How can I help you?
Well, Sarah, I'm sorry to trouble you, and I can tell you're getting into the game. What's the score, by the way?
Hey?
What's the score of the game?
I actually don't know.
Okay. Anyway, it's just a side note. Anyway, I'm a friend of Robert Blaine's, and we just haven't seen him on campus lately. And I was curious if you've seen him here, since this is supposed to be his residence.
Who?
Robert Blaine.
No, I haven't seen him in a few days.
Few days. Okay. We're just checking. Like he's a member of the college. I mean, he's a student over there, and like he's not showing up and stuff like that. And so I'm here. I'm here on behalf of the university as well, just to see if everything's okay. He kind of had a rough summer.
No,
Hey,
I haven't seen him in a few days.
do you know Robert very well?
No, not particularly. He's leased here for the last year, and he's come and gone quite often when during the school year. I haven't seen him. I don't think I've seen him at all actually since this semester started.
Oh, okay. But I
Just
get,
really only been a few days. Like it
yeah.
lines up with what he says.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go check and see if he's in the room. Like, if I need anything, I'll come back then. I appreciate your time, sir.
Certainly.
And then I'll just kind of, make my way up to room 6, and then I'm not even gonna knock. I just want to at least try the door very gently to see if it's locked or not.
Nice.
Okay. You head up the stairwell. So he's actually the only room on the upper level. It's more like kind of like a converted attic room.
Yeah.
And you check the door. It's locked.
Okay. I'm gonna listen and see if I can hear anything coming from inside the door.
Give me a listen check.
Okay. Open up my PDF. Looks like my listen is 20%, so I'm deaf as a post. Let's see what I get. 39. No, I do not get it.
Yeah, you don't hear anything.
Okay. Do I smell anything weird?
Nice.
No. Actually, give me. No, you don't.
Okay. Because I was thinking wondering if I could. I'm almost tempted to light a sheet of paper and shove it underneath the door and so I smell smoke. Oh God, what's my persuade at? 30. I don't have a good enough persuade to be an arsonist. Okay, so I'm gonna knock on the door a little bit there, see if I get an answer.
You knock on it and you don't hear anything, and the door doesn't open.
Okay, I'm going to run as hard as I can down to the first floor to the landlord's. And when I get there, I want to be. I'm even going to mess my hair up when I run down the steps. I'm going to be out of breath, taking a deep breath, and I'm not even going to bother knocking. I'm just going to kind of like barge in and like go. I was knocking on the door, and I think I heard him get up, and then I thought I heard him fall. Like, and then I knocked on the door, and he's not answering. Like, do you have a key? Can we open it up just see if he's there, if he's hurt? Cause I swear I thought I heard something fall.
Roll fast talk.
Fast talk. Let's see. That is. Oh,
You did talk very fast.
I did talk very fast. I also got a 5% on that. My persuasion.
Oh, yeah, roll persuade. That's fine.
Okay.
You guess you're not really trying to. Well, you are, but
ought to.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Either one. So.
Okay. We'll say it was fast talk just so it makes the odds better.
That's fine.
So.
Yes, yeah, I do have a key.
Here, I tell you what, man. Like here, and I'm gonna take my wallet out. And I'm gonna take my money out of it, and then like I'm also gonna try to like slide my identification paper out of it. I'm gonna go here. Like I can see you're disabled. No offense, sir. Just hand me the key. I'll run up here real quick. I mean, you got all my stuff. I'm coming right back. I just kept my money.
He seems a bit like like he's confused, like he's not, like he's actually trying to assess if this is okay. And before he comes to decision, you already have the key in your hand and you're going up.
Oh, thank you, sir. I'll be right back. Okay. So I will run up the steps as hard as I can, at least till I get out of earshot of the old man, and then I'll slow down, and then make my way up and like knock on the door one last time. Listen, no answer. Then I'm gonna unlock it and
Yeah,
walk.
there's no answer.
Okay, I'm gonna walk on in then.
Okay, yep. It unlocks, opens fine. You walk in. The apartment appears to be it is a single room apartment. At first glance, it looks to be at least have been relatively well maintained and clean. But you do notice that there are several books and sheets of paper scattered about. You also spot several empty bottles scattered about as well.
Okay. No sign of Blaine himself.
Not at first glance. No, you don't see him.
Okay. I'm gonna pull out my.
There's a window up here as well.
Okay. Is it open?
No, it's closed, and it looks like it's latched too.
Okay. So I'm gonna like walk over, look at the books, and using my fountain pen from my inventory, I'm gonna quickly write down the names of the books that Blaine has been reading.
Okay. You go through the books on the bookshelves, and there is a complete set of encyclopedia. Although some of the volumes are, like he has the couple books over here, and he has a couple books on the next shelf down. That's it's kind of intermingled along with other books, but there is a entire set of entire encyclopedic set there. There is also several books on geology.
Okay.
And behind those, there are a number of books, or a couple of books on anthropology and American folklore that appear to be like well used, they've been open a bit. There are some interesting titles, perhaps, would be next to the bed. There are several books on top of a small nightstand. I'm assuming you want to look at those as well.
Yes, and I'm also like, yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. So I'll look at those.
Okay. There is Isis Unveiled by H.P. Pulaski.
Not that ISIS.
The Discovery of Witchcraft by Reginald Scott.
Okay.
And then Demonality by, I might screw this one up a bit, Lodovico Maria Sinistaris. I think is how you would say that.
Okay.
I can spell it out for you if you like.
No, it's fine. I just wrote down demonology book. Shorthand. Okay. Do I see?
There's a pile of dirty clothes in the closet. You can see too. The closet's open. You can see a small pile of dirty clothes there as well.
I'm going to kind of open the closet the rest of the way with my fist kind of cocked back.
Okay.
Is there anything in there?
As you open the door, a glass bottle kind of gets disturbed and rolls out from the closet towards you, but stops at your foot.
It almost got its ass kicked, man. Man, so no one in the closet. Okay. Is there like a refrigerator up here or any kind of? Did it look like there's food? Can I tell if he's been here?
No, there's no refrigerator. Does look like there is, in addition to the nightstand and the bed, there is a desk.
Okay.
And then in the closet, looks like maybe on the top on the shelf above in the closet, he has maybe some canned goods there, but no refrigerator.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Excuse me.
I'd like to examine the desk real quick.
Okay. You flip through, open the drawers, and kind of rummage around a bit, and you do find a letter that may be of interest to you.
Ooh.
Okay. I will just yeah. I guess I probably ought to get back down there. That man's probably confused and getting more words. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the letter and stuff it inside my shirt. And I also want to take those 3 books that he had. I want to take a shirt out of the closet and bundle the books around them. And I'm going to open, like, what does the window open up into?
The window just opens up overlooking the street, although you're, I think, you're not the second story, but the attic above the second story.
All right. Is there a safe space that I could drop the books out the window, and then when I get outside the house, pick them up?
You'd be dropping them almost 3 stories if you were to drop them on the ground.
So you're saying there's no bush or anything it could land in?
Sure.
And they're wrapped in a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have t-shirts back then, but
yeah, but it's a shirt. So I'm just like, is there anyone looking?
You can give me a spot hidden.
Okay. All right. So I'm down at the bottom of my character sheet. My spot hidden. I wrote an +7. Good God.
nice.
Yeah, no, you don't see anyone close enough to
Okay.
be able to observe what you drop in them.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and drop them out the window then.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna pick up an empty bottle. I'm gonna pick up 2 or 3 empty bottles.
Okay.
And then just kind of walk like, is there anything? See, if I've already looked at everything in the bedroom.
Give me a spot hidden too as you're at the desk.
All right. 17. I made it.
Okay. As you're grabbing those books, you notice that there are several small feathers kind of on the top of the desk, and you notice there's quite a few more on the floor near the bed.
Are they all the same feather?
Yeah, they're all kind of like small, white, gray, or whitish and gray feathers.
Okay, and they're by the bed, and they're by that. So I'm gonna scoop a couple of them into my pocket. And no sign of a struggle, nothing like that.
No, some of those feathers are actually under the bed as well.
Is there a person under the bed?
You don't know.
I'll peek.
No, but you do notice that the underside of the mattress has a cut in it, like a sizable slit into the mattress, and it looks like that's where the feathers are coming out from.
I'll reach in it.
Okay. You shove your hand up in there and
rope sanding.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I just said rope sanding.
And you feel something that feels like a book in there.
Definitely grabbing that.
Okay. And you grab it out and kind of flip through it, and it appears to be a handwritten journal. And as you open it, a few sheets of paper, or a sheet of paper falls out, which looks to be a letter, a typed letter, I believe.
Okay, taking it all.
Put it in the journal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he don't know me. Fuck him.
Sorry, it's a handwritten letter.
Ooh.
Not a typed letter.
I'll tell you what, I'll skim the journal real quick.
You skim it. It appears to be a handwritten journal belonging to Daphne Devine.
Oh, that's a stripper name if I've ever heard one.
Yeah.
She was one of the original students on the expedition from the previous year.
Okay, and what does the letter say?
The letter. Is this it? Yeah, I just dropped both of those into the folder if you want to take a look at them.
Okay, let me refresh it and see if I get it. Shit.
If not, I can read it to you.
I can read it too.
It's fine. I'm just trying to see if it refreshed. If I'm getting anything in the okay. So this is which P is it?
P21511 and 2631. No, sorry, 27312.
Okay, I will read the first one here. Dear Miss Divine and colleagues, it's like a Civil War
Do
talk.
it. Do it. Do it.
Absolutely. Yeah, do it.
God damn it, now I can't.
Perfect.
If it was Civil War, it'd be my dearest Miss Divine and colleagues. I write this note to congratulate you and your team on the splendid work you have performed so far. It is most impressive and goes to prove how ideal you are for this task. I am also pleased that you all are having an enjoyable jaunt. This is old. And wholeheartedly approve of your return trip to Cobb's Corner. Yours truly, I guess, abbreviated, Roger Harold. So I will
Yours.
make a note of Roger Harold's name.
He's a professor at Miskatonic. He's actually the professor that approved this second expedition
Okay.
that you guys are part of.
Here's the last letter. It is dated August 20th. It is from Mrs. Imelda Cratchit, and it's to Mr. Blaine. Mr. Blaine, I write this letter only to tell you why you haven't received any response for your last 3 pestering letters. My beloved husband, Jethro Bodine, no one, who was a great and honest man if ever there was, is dead. Dr. Perry says it was an accident, but I think better of it. I told Jethro not to get mixed up with you or that Ms. Devine and all of your uh
Oh, so smart.
oh so smart. I thought that was like I couldn't read that. Oh so smart college foolishness. But you and that woman got him to go against me, and now he's dead. I hope you are happy, sir, and I hope you rot in hell. I know he died because of the stories you were telling.
Or he was telling.
He was telling you. I don't know how, but I'm sure you had something to do with this untimely demise. Please, if you have any mercy in your damnable heart, do not write me again. May God forgive you because I cannot. You have made me a widow before my time. Imelda Cratchit. Okay.
Interesting.
We need to talk to her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Making a note of Imelda Cratchit. And it makes Daphne's journal. Of course, I just perused it. For a little bit more, I would have to like read it more in depth. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Daphne?
it would probably take you a couple or few hours to
Okay.
read through it in detail.
In a sock out the window.
Okay.
And I'm going to take one of his bottles and shove it up in the mattress.
Okay.
Just to be a dick, so I'm going to take the rest of the bottles, or 2 of them at least, and lock the door and go back down to the landlord and go, I don't see him. I guess I heard one of these empty bottles, which I'm going to take a sniff of it. Oh, God.
Whiskey.
Yeah. Whew. I guess I knocked it over or something when I was knocking on the door. Maybe it was by that. I'm sorry to have troubled you, sir. I appreciate the great confidence you had in me. And I'm gonna hand him his keys back and just pick my wallet up at where it was laying there. And I'm gonna see how much spending money do I have. It's at the bottom of my sheet.
Give him the whiskey.
They're empty bottles of whiskey, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm a pull out a $1, and I'm gonna just like lay it down and go, sir, like your faith and your trust in me, like, is phenomenal. I mean, I thank you. It just, I feel like such a fool. Well, what do you want me to do with these bottles? Do you want to just throw them away, or what do you want me to do with them?
Yeah, you can just throw them in the garbage.
All right. Well, I apologize. But anyway, sir, is there anything I could do to help you before I leave?
He kind of, shakes his head and nah.
Well, sir, thank you. Hopefully I'll be back by to try to catch Robert a little bit later on then, since apparently doesn't look like he's even been home for a day or 2 here. Maybe he's out doing more college work. I don't know. No one told us. But anyway, sir, thank you for your time, and I will do a bow. I'm going to also state that I never mentioned my name to him, and I will go ahead and walk outside the building, look around, make it to the bush, pull out the books, and quickly hightail it.
Okay.
Excellent.
Da, 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 da. Okay. NC.
All right.
Excellent.
I guess what is the next course of action?
We're gonna have to meet up and discuss these findings.
Oh, I was waiting for the people to come out of the library.
Oh yeah,
that's correct.
right.
Yes. They spend pretty much the whole day there. If you're going to wait the whole day, it's not until the library closes that you see them leave.
Okay. Where do they go?
Let me see. They go anywhere. Initially, they go off in separate directions. So you can pick one if you'd like to try to follow.
Yes. So I'm assuming it's the standard band of malcontents.
Yes. So it's Roderick, Lewis, Jason, and Terrence.
I think I'm going to go after Terrence.
Okay. If you recall, he's the one that you had the staring
Yes.
incident with. Okay.
Yes.
Just making sure you...
Yes.
Excellent.
I clutch my violin case closer.
But he walks across campus. Seems like he's actually heading to leave campus.
Okay. What's around where he's heading to? Like, is it the bars or the apartments or?
No, he's heading towards the center of town. Basically, he's heading eastward out of the campus onto into the town itself. Arkham's kind of split by a river, so the campus on the south side, and then so he's heading east into basically into the town part itself.
All right.
There's a variety of things there, including apartments, some businesses. It's a mixed area.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just keep on his tail.
Okay. Give me a second. Okay. Give me a stealth check.
All right. Let's see what I have in stealth. 20%. Probably not going to make this, but you never know.
You can do it.
42.
Okay.
No. I wave brazenly.
You follow him. He walks into one of the small restaurants that's down there.
Okay. I will go into said restaurant.
Okay.
What kind of restaurant is it?
It's just like a small mom and pop. Just a typical fare.
Okay. So
It's
I
not very
will,
high risky. It's not any high end place at all.
I will sidle up to the counter next to my mark. Sit down
Actually,
and.
when you enter, you do not see him anywhere.
Oh ho! Well, then I will address the proprietor of the fine establishment and ask for an open-faced roast beef and the identity and/or location of the guy that just walked in here.
Sure, I can take your order. Which gentleman are you talking about?
I describe Terrence.
Okay. I think he went back to the restroom.
Okay, I'll wait for him here. While eating my roast beef sandwich and coffee. Because that's a terrifying combination.
Make a listen check.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, listen check.
86. Nope.
Okay. So you order a rise and you enjoy your meal and coffee.
Case up to the sit on the table. I make sure that I'm sitting in a tactically good position in case everybody if they're all body snatchers and this is the body snatcher ice cream shop.
That's a weird name for a business.
Yeah. But then as you're having or enjoying your meal, you don't see Terrence emerge from the where the restrooms are at.
Mm-hmm.
You do not see him come out from there.
All right. Well, I'll finish my meal and pay, and I think that there's probably a portal to another dimension in the bathroom, and I am not equipped to handle that. So,
or just a window. It's possible it's a window.
I will circle around the back to see if there is a window.
Yeah, it looks like there is a window for it, but it doesn't. It's open, or it's not open.
Okay.
Okay, definitely a portal.
I would climb up, but that would just get awkward. So, yeah, I think I will note this down and head back to the rendezvous point.
Okay.
And eventually, the three of you guys meet up.
Excellent.
Okay, I will.
In David's secret attic space up in the frat house.
We gotta think of a better name for that.
Lambda.
The Dave Cave.
There we go. That's it.
So, gentlemen, I lied my ass off, broke into Blaine's apartment for reasons pretty much. I think he's a dick. I don't know why. I think my previous persona hated him, but anyway. But I broke into his place, and these books are on the side of his bed. They seem a little odd, and I will demonstrate. I will break out the ISIS Unveiled, the Conspiracy of Witchcraft, and the Demonality or Demon Book. I'll break those out, and I will also pull out the diary and the letter that I read, and then there was another letter that I stuck in my shirt. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out. I forgot to read it. Or was that the other letter that I read there too?
Yeah, there were two letters there. I put them in the folder. I think you read them both.
So I'm going to pull this one out in particular, and the one from the lady in Cobb's Corner, and I'm going to hand it to Okimbo. Check this out. Did you ever meet with this lady?
I don't think we did. Did we, Jeff?
Which lady?
Cratchit.
No.
Cratchit.
No, we did not.
Okay, so how far is Cobb's Corner from the college?
Oh, it's a good day away.
We may want to try to call her, but I'm sure phones aren't probably an option there. We may need to send a letter. And
I don't think we should do that.
Okay.
She doesn't seem very partial to people from the university. I think we'd have to go there in person.
But if somebody's trying to burn Blaine's ass, she would probably be very willing to help.
Maybe.
She
seems opposed to people from this university in general.
I'm from Logan, West Virginia. I'm as country as cow shit. She'll like me.
Okay.
Actually, coal mining is cow shit. Oh well, I screwed that up. But it's a coal mining area.
You'll really have to country up that letter then, because
I'll smear it with coal.
Excellent.
So guys, here's the books I found. Kyle, what's your character's name? I forgot to write it down.
Caleb.
All right.
Stolen directly from Caleb.
Oh, there's a lot of Calebs. Caleb, did you find anything?
I found nothing. This book is a general book. It's a very modern book, just discussing brain anatomy. It's not related to any particular disease or brain function.
Well, oh yeah. By the way, Blaine's going to totally know I've been in there. Oh, also, and I'm going to pull the feathers out and lay them there. Well, these are out of his bed. I don't know why I held on to them.
Are those regular feathers from a feather bed?
Yeah, it would appear that way.
Okay. But this journal was hidden, so I think I'm going to do some light reading tonight and try to read this journal. This is from what I gather, one of the first members that went on the expedition that did not return. We also have a college professor mentioned here, who is a
you know him. You know Harold.
Yeah, we have some communication between Harold and Miss Divine. Like,
what about her, by the way?
She's gone.
Wait, where is she gone?
She was one of the students that went missing the previous year.
Oh, okay. And she never returned like these students.
No.
Never returned as a body snatcher. All right. Interesting. Is it... And was she in charge of the expedition? It sounds from that letter like she was.
The previous one Blaine was in charge of as well.
Yes.
No, sorry. The previous one actually had several groups, and Blaine and Daphne were in the same one.
Is it possible that Blaine killed Daphne to improve his position in the expedition?
Anything's possible.
Okay. Is there anything? Is that a logical conclusion my character could make, or is there something in the fact that prevents that?
I don't think there's that connection.
Oh,
I don't think there. I mean, I don't think you found anything to.
But there's nothing to suggest it. But I'm asking: could he have improved his position by having killed her, or is that not a way that could have happened?
Probably not. He actually, because she was, I believe she was a chemistry. Let me go
Wait
back
a minute.
and look.
It's suspicious he even has this letter because it's personal correspondence to Daphne. Like, why is this in Blaine's possession? That's suspicious, isn't it? Am I crazy?
Well, the journal actually is of Daphne's as well.
Oh, okay. I did not get that part.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'll sit down and read that tonight and see what happens.
We shall read that.
Okay. Y'all ready for story time?
Yeah.
Story time.
So.
Is it the 27? No, that was Cratchit. We already read that one.
Oh, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and sit down and start reading the diary and try to read it in depth here, aloud.
Okay. It actually seems to be a journal of the first expedition to Cobb's Corner.
Okay.
And as you read through it, it has several accounts of folklore tales in here, like much the same as what you guys were doing. Although, I'm trying to find. Here we go. Some different tales in here as well. I can read some of them all for you.
Yeah.
There's one account here of a claim that there's a big mound over at the base of Landon Mountain, and then there are times when the stars are not in the sky, and a huge dog will stand on the stone and howls.
Wow.
The dog is as big as a bull, has glowing green eyes, and its howl is said to be all mournful like. And some folks say pilgrims are buried at that mound, murdered by the Wampanoag Indians for trying to teach them the way of God. And the dog is the pilgrim's guardian. Person giving this account said that one time he was walking home from his friend's house, and be damned if he didn't see that thing jump out at me and basically snarling at him. And he took off right away, making a sign of the cross and giving a prayer as well. And then it gave up. Apparently, the entity disappeared, and he hadn't seen it since. But he still hears a howling at times.
Okay.
Pilgrims in what period?
That would have been colonial.
Not Revolutionary War period.
Correct.
Okay.
Sounds like the Hound of Baskervilles.
Huh.
There is another account of apparently a big rat thing sleeping around in the trees.
Oh, I saw one of those.
And that they believe, that person giving it says that it thinks they've been breeding up near the McLaren farmhouse.
Yeah.
And that those vermin come back and may there's some rumor that they may even eat people in their sleep.
Oh God.
Okay.
There's another one that somebody were saying that at night they'll see weird lights and hear strange sounds up by the hills, and holding the belief that there is a way into hell up there. Hearing mad dogs, sheep bleating, intense buzzing like mosquitoes, even sometimes hearing singing at times, as if it was someone from the devil's own church. Fires up in the hills, except that they are real large fires and appear to change colors.
That's weird.
Well, they were researching mining, so maybe they want to open the door.
Yeah.
And then there's another account of someone saying that something lives within the Gizman River. Doesn't know exactly what it is, but when it rains, you can just sometimes catch a glimpse of it floating, just like a spiny head. And person says it might follow the river out of the mountains, but he actually believes it lives underground in the caves along the riverbed.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, that answers questions from the past there.
Yeah, I would corroborate all of that I can.
And then, hold on a second. And then there's also a lot of notes. As you read them, her notes suggest that some of these local legends hint towards possibly creatures living in the mountains. She has a note saying that she wishes to re-interview a local man by the name of Jethro Cratchit, and hope to obtain his grandfather's diaries, as for the hope that there are a wealth of folk tales that he had collected himself while he was a traveling salesman. Okay. And then the final note is her writing that she's submitting her journal to Professor Harold for the hope that her and her colleagues will be sent back to Cobb's Corner in order to collect more data and then potentially or possibly physical evidence of those strange creatures.
Submitting this journal that we're reading right here?
Correct.
Okay.
It's
So somehow
never
this
ma-
got from Professor Harold's possession to Blaine.
Or it never made it. Like
Yeah.
he.
Or that. Does it say where she was when she made that last entry? Was she in Cobb's Corner, or had she returned to the university by the time she wrote
I
that?
returned to the university.
Interesting.
Well, it sounds like the Cratchits have what we need. We have the leverage against Blaine to get them to give us the diary.
Yes. Do we want to show this to the professor and see if it ever made it to him? Because if not, that would implicate Blaine. And
Well, there was a letter in the journal that Adam had found that was from Harold too.
that was regarding this journal.
Yeah.
Their good
Yeah.
work. Okay.
So
So
that would suggest at least he got it and had read it. Because he gave approval for them to go back.
Yeah.
if we think Blaine stole it, then we could get him in trouble with it. Otherwise, we'd be the ones in trouble for having stolen it from Blaine.
True.
Oh, we could say that he left it in the library. That would not be implausible.
Yeah.
And that we know something about that expedition, and we wondered how it got into his possession.
Yeah. It was blatant that I took it. So, anyway.
All right. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think. So the next day, I'll make an expedition to talk to the professor, Professor Harold.
Okay.
And what does everyone else want to do tomorrow? Just set off?
I think I'd like to read the rest of those books. Like, I don't really have a particular place to go right now.
Each read
So,
one.
Makes sense.
I'll read the ISIS one.
Okay.
I haven't
I'll
wrote
read
Sanity yet.
What's that?
I haven't wrote Sanity yet, I don't think.
I'm going to say for you to read either of those books will probably take a full week to read through them. If you were to dedicate, every waking hour, you might be able to get through them in like 3 days. But if you're more on a casual basis, it might take you a week.
Do I see anything that's bookmarked in these books? Like any indication what Blaine was looking at?
No, I mean, you can gather the subject matter. Like the Demonality book has a subtitle of Incubi and Succubi. It appears to be regarding. You can tell that the original manuscript was written sometime in the late 17th century. This appears to be a printed copy published in 1875.
Okay.
And it deals with incubus, succubi, and other demons that are roaming the earth, and also regarding their sexual practices.
Okay, does this have a Miskatonic University stamp in it?
No.
Okay, so Okembo, I think this book's for you.
Okay. I got it. And I will cram.
Yeah, we got to start going to class here pretty soon, don't we?
Yeah.
Oh, we do?
Don't.
At some point, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I should read the books since you guys have class and are relatively stable people.
So
I
we're
thought
going
we
to come
were all
back
on,
and
Call of Cthulhu special, special body snatcher duty.
Dr. Armitage gave us express permission.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Isis Unveiled is esoteric philosophy work.
Ooh. Yeah. I like
And then the discovery of witchcraft is late 16th century, and it's appears to be on early modern witchcraft.
Okay. Yeah, I'll read the ISIS one, then the demonology one, and then the witchcraft one.
Okay.
We're totally going to come back and you're going to be completely batshit insane.
These sound like they might just be a cult and not mythos. Does this system make a difference? Let's see. I should check that.
I'm sorry?
I think I would guess that this would be occult and not mythos itself, but I'm not sure if this particular system makes a difference.
Yeah, there is a separate occult skill and mythos
cool.
skill.
Ah, okay. So yeah, he'll probably just have a lot of occult.
Okay. Well, is this a class day? Do we need to go to class today?
I don't think so. No. Classes don't actually start till I think that September 10th, and it's only been a few days you guys got back, so
Okay.
you're still welcome to do whatever you wish.
Ooh, do we have time to go to Cobb's Corner?
Well,
In fact, I'll
help
say
me
it's
cram,
the weekend.
because
so
then we
it's,
can go down on the weekend.
All right.
So I'll say it's the 23rd, just maybe I think it'd be 4 days, I think, after you guys got back. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should just cram the books in 3 days, take a day off, and then drive down to Cobb's Corners.
All right. That works.
You know what? That sounds like a good route. We'll do that. So
I'd like to. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'd like to compare the books to what we've been reading in this journal about the stories there.
Okay.
You know, because she had a number of the stories that they found. So if we all compare what's in these books, we might find some correlation.
Okay. I can say that each of you, rather than saying each of you had to read each book, you can kind of go through and share and discuss as you're reading it. I'll say it would take a little longer to go through this way, but basically all of you can read essentially each book that way.
Okay.
A cult book club.
Yep. And so total for doing so, each of you would gain 15 occult.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Onto our base of 5, which makes it 20, right?
Correct.
I now have 65.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was going to say Kimball, I think was... And I'll say it'll take you like 5 days to go through that way. That way you can... everyone can gain that in that time frame.
Cool. And do we find anything?
You find some similarities with some of the stories, but nothing exact. Nothing that's like an identical story or identical similarities. But you find some parallels, but that's not too unusual when you're dealing with folklore.
Wow, that was worth a shot.
Is there any practical magic?
No.
Nice.
Dang. Just those darn philosophy books. Esoteric philosophy. So inferior.
It happens. It happens to the best of us.
We don't find occult tomes that help.
Okay.
I'll take out my pocket watch and start dowsing for the location of Cobb's Corners. I don't know. But I guess if, armed with our new knowledge, we can ask spookier questions in
That's
Cobb's
true.
Corners. So I think that there isn't going to be a better time to talk to the Cratchits, so we should probably do that. We should also probably
That's right.
bring a lawnmower and some dynamite.
Of course. We should bring 2.
Two lawnmowers and some dynamite, yes.
Yeah, those things tend to. We might also bring some fishing supplies because it sounds like actually dynamite. Never mind. He said dynamite. He said that out loud.
Yes.
Yeah. I was thinking like a net, but now if we're fishing for one of these things, let's just go ahead and use the dynamite.
Is it possible for us to get a trip over to Cobb's Corner now, or is it like?
Sure. You're coming up close to when the semester begins. You could definitely do a weekend trip, me back, and not have a problem.
Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely do a weekend trip.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay. So,
in fact, could we say that we were reading the books while we were on the train for one of those days?
Good one.
Sure, you could.
Excellent.
Let's see. Everyone, give me. Well, who has the highest idea?
me and Kyle have the same character, so
Yes.
we have.
Well,
we have 70.
Yeah, I have 70 as well.
Well, how about this? When you guys are walking through town on the way to make arrangements for your train, and you're passing near. Adam will remember this. You're passing near where Blaine lives.
Yeah.
And you suddenly hear a gunshot go off.
Whoa.
Okay. I'm going to from the apartment.
I'm going to take cover.
Yeah, you can give me a listen check if you want to try to guess where it's coming from.
Yeah, I'm going to do a listen check, which my listen's 20. Because apparently I was a coal miner.
Give a bonus check or a bonus die.
Okay.
75.
10.
Yeah. Nice.
It sounds like it's coming from Blaine's building.
All right, I'm going to wield the biogun.
Okay.
Excellent.
Would it have been prudent for me to have had my sword?
We were heading down to Cobb's Corner, so you probably have it in your luggage.
If not, we can always take something like a fireplace poker. We can always have an object with us.
Okay, so I'm going to
umbrella.
I will. I don't know about the rest of the guys, but I'm gonna run over to the apartment and check out. Like I'm kind of thinking about the old man. Like I'm gonna run to the door, listen for a second, kind of peek my head in, see if the man is the landskeeper. God damn it! Landlord. Is his door open?
Yeah, he's there.
Okay,
he's actually he's exiting his room and getting ready to go upstairs.
Oh God, did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Oh shit! I was just walking down the street and I was afraid. I was just checking on you and Blaine. I mean, it sounded like it was from over here. Do you want me to accompany you?
He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't complain.
All right. Did the rest of you guys follow me too?
Absolutely.
I've got the biogun up behind my back. Nothing to see here.
I'm going to mention that Blaine has been more and more unhinged lately, and we're afraid he might have done something. Or I'm afraid he might have done something.
So we will. I guess we'll take the lead then, and we'll go ahead and go up to Blaine's apartment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you follow him up. He takes a while for him to get up there. And he unlocks the door, and you guys can enter.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And make a sanity roll as you do. Everyone who enters.
Okay.
Excellent. Let's see here.
It's that time again, boys. Let's see what we do. 17.
74.
Good.
I don't
made it.
I got it.
I did not.
Got it.
Suhu failed. Sounds like Dave and Kyle.
No, Kyle did. I made it.
Okay. Akimbo, you lose 1 sanity point.
Okay.
If you failed, you lose a D4.
Oof. Can you roll that for me? I don't have one handy.
2.
Oh dear. Okay, thanks.
Where's my sanity at? Okay, there it is.
What do we see?
You see Blaine slump forward onto his desk. The back of his head is a bloody mess, and there is a revolver lying on the floor next to his feet, along with a few empty whiskey bottles.
Jesus Christ!
Well,
There I
that's
go.
And then, as soon as everyone sees the scene, old man Flanagan screams out, turns, and leaves the room. He shouted out something about how he has to call the police.
All right, guys, quick.
right for him.
Rummage.
Yep.
Well, look, like, be careful not to disturb the body
Of course.
too much. But just look in the desk, like around the desk, like what was he looking at when he shot himself?
Doesn't really appear to be anything on. I mean, there's no notes. It does look like he, it looks as if he was just completely drunk and decided to end his life.
All right, guys, you
There
realize
is no books out. There's no pad in front of him. They didn't even
this?
find anything that's like a suicide note either.
what's in his pockets?
Just a few miscellaneous pieces. There's like a broken pencil.
Hey, guys,
There's
we
nothing interesting.
Is there
Guys,
anything weird in his head other than the
In his
gaping
head?
hole? Like if
Sorry?
I look into the gaping hole, do I see
the
something?
gaping hole looks back at you.
Yeah. Roll a sanity check as you
Okay.
go looking through the hole through his head.
All right. And I got a 53, so I did not make
Nice. Oh,
Just a D3.
it. Okay. Let me get a D3 here. And that's going to be a 1. Woo.
Okay. And then no, you don't. Nothing seems out of place, and I guess nothing seems unusual. Everything's out of place.
Well, yeah, it looks like he shot himself in the head. Yep.
Well, guys, like if we're going to Cobb's Corner, we need to not be here giving police statements.
certainly.
Yep.
All right, let's get out of here.
Okay.
So, God, I really should have probably been the guy who took sanity loss in a way, since I was the one who maybe had driven him over the edge.
What, really?
Well, I did steal shit, and he knows he's been found.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I'm almost. You know what, Def? You said 1d4. I'm gonna voluntarily do this. I will say I failed that. It seems like good.
Sure. Yeah, you can
I can burn my sanity.
justify
Well-
it that way if you like.
Man, I don't think this is even related to us. I think there's something else going on here.
That's also possible. If he honestly feels a bit of remorse for his actions, being responsible for it, then
Fair enough.
I mean,
Yeah, I'll go for it. Let's see how bad I screwed myself. 2. Okay, I'll eat to 2.
That's what I got.
All right, I shouldn't have done it. Blah blah blah. What the fuck? All right. Anyway, we can go ahead and make our departure.
Yeah. I think this guy was probably body snatched anyway. Like, I suspect he just outlived his usefulness to someone. Because there's no note also. Which, I mean, not everyone leaves one, but certainly at this time it would be common, I would suspect.
Is the window open?
no.
Police response times aren't great. We can just walk out.
Yeah. Act like we don't know. Maybe kind of lightly step by the landlord's thing.
Sure.
Are you going to try a sneak pass?
Uh,
I mean, is that what you're trying not to get seen by him?
let's see. What's my sneak at? Hold on. There's a cat in my lap. I can't reach my mouse.
I can answer that. Let's see here. It
Stealth is 20. I say I'm gonna pull a cigarette out and like act like I'm just walking outside, light a cigarette up. Just like, oh shit.
Nice.
So and then once we get outside,
Yeah, you approach his room. He's actually somebody facing the doorway. He's on the phone and he's talking to someone, presumably the police.
Yeah. So I'm gonna step outside with the group and light up and go, listen, guys. Like, worst case scenario, we have to do a statement. It takes a little bit of time. We come back. I mean, we're gone. But then again, our name's connected with Blaine.
Our name?
All right. Well, we'll have if we hang around here for police statements. If we
Yeah.
just go ahead and leave and just hope that they don't look for us.
Exactly. They wouldn't
Yep.
find us.
So I'm all in favor of just darting like a motherfucker.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Bring our Eldritch Tomes and get on the bus.
All right.
Sure.
To the bus.
The train?
I should have totally just like when we like, you hear something? Me neither. Let's just keep going.
If you guys are gonna take off for Cobb's Corner, I think that might be a good time to stop
Yeah.
for the evening then.
All right.
Alrighty.
Well,
I'd like to thank everyone for joining us again for A Time to Harvest. We'll be picking back up in 2 weeks. And until then, everyone sleep well.
night.
Excellent.
Have a good
We'll
one.
see ya.
That was fun.